This week, Tide Pods.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Tide Pods. Eat them up.
For a daily snack that the kids just can't get enough of. And then it's like a Totino's pizza roll commercial
But
where
with Tide Pods.
the mom pulls a tray out of the oven.
And the kids are all in the living room like playing video games and stuff, and they all stop as soon as the Tide Pods come out.
Oh yeah, Tide Pods.
Man,
better wash
Jerry,
those
your
mouths
mom's
out,
the coolest. I wish my mom served us Tide Pods.
Oh, I love it. I love it. If only we could make that video and not have to worry about, like, copyright or defamation or any of the fancy legal bullshit like that.
Maybe we just have to actually eat the Tide Pods to show our commitment to it. We eat the Tide Pods, and then after they're like, wow, they actually ate those. Good on
All right,
them.
guys.
Fine. You get the sponsorship. Go ahead.
You can do it, but you need to prove your loyalty first.
And then we eat them, and then we're like, oh, these are actually just a delicious snack.
Wait a minute. But all those people had poisoning, Tide. Did they? Tide pulled a prank so people wouldn't eat their pods.
Yeah, because they wanted to save all the deliciousness for themselves.
It's the perfect scheme. We did it, guys. We've solved Tide Pods.
We're going to eat all the Tide Pods on this podcast. This is the Tide Podcast.
Oh, Jesus. Don't give them that idea. Welcome this week to the Tide Podcast. Oh, God. No.
That's all right. We took it first.
We need to copyright that shit. I'll do that this week.
Anyway, welcome to the Protagonist seat. This is the Tide Podcast, hosted by Alex and Ian. I'm Alex. That's Ian.
Yes.
We're going to snack on some Tide Pods and talk about anime.
Yep. Munch, munch, munch. Foaming at mouth dies.
Yeah, this totally doesn't mix and turn into a deadly chemical concoction.
I can't even do bits anymore. I just died because I ate a Tide Pod.
Well, I got to do this myself then. We are going to start with God of High School.
I'll be your contradiction.
So Mira gets her stand this week.
Out of all the people who would get their stand first, it was Mira.
Yep, her stand is Lu Bu Fangshun.
I was a little pogged out because of that. I was pretty hyped.
Lu Bu, do not pursue.
And he speaks instead of just like screaming like he does in Fate because he's a berserker.
Yeah, and he's voiced by Iskander, funny enough.
I know. I heard that and I was like, yo, is that fucking Iskander right there, dude?
It is.
And it is.
And he ends up, Mira has to fight because Jin last episode got a picture of his grandpa being held hostage somewhere. So, of course, he goes after him. And Day is banned from the tournament because he got that, or he's banned for the next round because he's on suspension because he got involved with Shark Guy's fight. So Mira and Jin both have to win their fights.
Yes. And
Jin doesn't show up, and if he doesn't show up, they automatically lose.
That's a DQ, boys and girls.
Mira essentially has to win her fight, but she also she can't win it too fast because she has to buy time for Day to find Jin.
So, yeah. And she has to fight, I'll say, a character I was definitely not expecting. A large tanned man in a Speedo with swimming goggles on.
With lots of tanning oil on.
Ooh, he's the greasiest. You know he's the greasiest.
He would have been the worst person for the wrestler chick to fight.
Oh, God.
There's no grapples going on.
I mean,
even worse for the jiu-jitsu guy, because that's all it is.
He's too slippery, dude.
How are you gonna arm lock that guy when he'll just be like, whip?
Should I enter jujitsu tournaments, but I just like get super greasy?
Dude, no one would stop you. But I guess you can't grapple anyone else.
Well, that's fine because I don't know jujitsu.
That's fair.
So in the end, something that people would say is my greatest weakness turns out to be my greatest strength.
He's impossible to grapple.
We can't grapple him with our jujitsu, and he's using some kind of crazy variation jujitsu that relies on kicks and punches.
Huh. I got a perfect hold on him. Wait a second. It's like he slipped right through my fingers.
What?
Also, why is the entire mat just soaked in grease now?
Joke's on you, motherfuckers. I greased up my gi and my skin.
They like, all right, just grab his gi, and then after they finally get your gi off, and they're just like, wait a second.
He's greased up too. You didn't think I would.
Greased up. Huh. Little did you know, before the fight, I greased you up.
He greased everything. Everything in the arena is greasy.
The audience is greased up.
And then I do like crazy flip spin jumps off of the audience.
You basically grease surf off the audience.
And no one reacts as I do it. I just do it. You can't catch me. Not without this grease.
So this is the power of grease Kwando.
But this is a jiu-jitsu tournament.
He's using grease Kwando.
There's nothing in the rules that says he can't.
Grease me up, woman.
And then I win based on Airbud rules. Well, there's nothing in the rule book that says he can't grease up literally everything and just slide around.
Should have put that one in there. Should have seen that coming.
That's the only year I win a jiu-jitsu tournament, because after that they change all of the rules.
Everything becomes non-grease based.
I take my local rec tourney trophy home and I put it proudly on my mantelpiece. My $25 gift card to Applebee's, and just set it right next to my trophy, and I bask in my glory.
That's all you need in life, really.
A shitty $20 trophy and a $25 gift card to Applebee's.
You don't even use it. You just leave it there and look at it. It expires on you.
Because it, in and of itself, is my trophy. And also that would require me to go to Applebee's. So, like...
Yeah, fair.
I'll keep it as a trophy. I'll keep it as a trophy. So anyway, Mira fights greased up not-so-deaf guy.
And he has her sword.
Oh, shit!
And he can use its full power.
It turns into an actual sword.
Yep, and he just keeps taunting her the whole time, saying, oh, we had such high expectations for you being able to use this sword, but you're not its true master. And the whole fight, she just keeps going, that's my sword, that's my sword. And she keeps getting punched and hit and knocked around. That's my sword.
He even freaking stabs her. And like,
yeah, but good thing, nanomachines, son.
Nanomachines. And like, I was thinking about it this episode. This is a really uncomfortable tournament to watch. Like, this year's God of High School tournament is super, super uncomfortable.
How do you know it's not like this every year?
There's tons of... I honestly don't. But
yeah,
there are
no basis.
There are tons of matches where people just like kick the shit out of each other while they're on the ground, or like the match ends in 5 seconds.
You don't know if last year's God of High School tournament had a guy get cut in half and then put back together because of nanomachines. You don't know what it was like.
That's true. I don't. But I have watched competitive fighting tournaments, and I can say that it's kind of boring watching something that's either super one-sided or over too quickly.
Yeah, it's fair. Imagine how many people were pissed on the fight where Jin was supposed to fight Q and he just pushes him down instantly. It's like, oh, we get to see a competitor fight an instructor.
Nope. I bought fucking season tickets this year. Damn it.
And then we get to see Jin goes, finds out, which I assume that his grandpa was not actually his grandpa. It was a
Yeah,
fake. And then the dude who tried to marry Mira shows up. I'm pretty sure it's him. Same voice.
I think so.
Yeah, and his power is like doppelganger or something, so he makes clones.
It's that scene in The Matrix where uh Agent Smith just
Yeah.
clones himself and fights Neo, and it's not very good looking because it's early 2000s graphics.
Yeah, and so Jin is fighting all of them, and he's already beat to shit because the dude basically made the grandpa a bomb. Like he was a fake grandpa, but he was a real bomb.
Yeah, fake
He was a fake
grandpa, real
grandpa, real
bomb.
bomb. And that's a huge explosion. Like, nope, I don't care how many nanomachines you get. That blew up a building, and you were
It's
point blank at that.
it's because Jin is very strong.
Putting up your arms in a guard stance does not stop that.
He's super strong. He
But
doesn't even get
yeah,
blown out of the building. Like he's just under some rubble. I
not
don't
even a
know.
lot of rubble either. He's just kind of
Just a little
lying
bit.
there with some dirt and debris on him.
Oh man, that was mildly inconvenient.
And then the bad guy, instead of killing him while he's on the ground, is like, all right, well, I'm going to leave now.
And then Jin gets up after this is after they like fall through the floor, and as we all knew because they're wearing the fucking cloaks of the bad guys, it turns out that the bad guys killed that team and then took their place.
Yeah.
But
And
Jin,
Jin's basically beat to shit, and the bad guy's even saying, how can you even, like, how can you expect to even beat me after you took the full brunt of that explosion? But then Jin successfully does the pressure point thing, and then
yeah,
goes, for the next hour, I'll feel nothing.
you must be in excruciating pain. And Jin looks pissed off. He's pissed.
Yeah. And he ends up beating the shit out of this guy, we assume, because he shows up after Mira gets her stand and she wins her fight.
Yeah, because she gets the shit kicked out of her, and then she's like, I can't lose.
And then Lu
And
Bu's like, hey, here's my power.
hey,
Persona.
you want some I
I am
can't remember
thou,
the
thou art
script.
I.
There we go. They persona gain stand powers,
Yeah, and so
and then
she
she kicks
wins, and
shit
yeah,
out.
then she collapses, but then Jin shows up last second. And then one scene I
Sorry
really
it took
did
so
like
long.
was he fights the next competitor, and the next competitor's like, what happened to so and so? And then instead of saying anything, he just shows him.
Yes.
He's like, that's what happened to him. And we get a cool side by side thing of him doing the exact same moves, kicking both these dudes' asses in the exact same way.
It is pretty cool.
Except for that one shot where it looks kind of dumb because it's a close up on them as they're getting hit and they're just kind of flailing around like,
Yeah. I don't know why they chose to do that, because I feel like for such bombastic moves with like freaking he's going at him with dual aqua dragons. Man, that shit is cool. Show that shit from a wide shot. No close-ups.
Yeah, but it is neat that he basically beats the two dudes the same way.
The occasional good decision. And that's cool.
Yeah. And yeah, so they win, of course. And the bad guys lost. There's still one of them left, but they don't
They
have to do a third fight. It's just 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that dude doesn't get a chance to fight. Which, if you think about it, like, that dude went in that day knowing, like, I don't have to fight anyone. That's pretty cool. I just get to take this match off.
Oh, and Day in this episode sees the 30-year-old dude passed out in the bathroom because like he got beat up by some weird Bruce Lee dressed girl.
Yeah, we got a big titty Bruce Lee girl.
And Day's like, I don't have time for this, and he just knocks her to the ground and goes to leave, and then she's like, now I'm really into this guy, and she gives him a kiss for some reason. And even he's surprised by that.
Yeah, because, like, what the fuck?
And it turns out she's on Shark Boy's team.
She must be the titular lava girl.
Yeah,
Because I
I get
forget.
the reference, but I'm not gonna do anything with that.
I won't pretend that it was worthy of a laugh or even a continuation, but it's the reference I needed to make.
But yeah, she looks like, well, she wears the Bruce Lee yellow jumpsuit, and yeah, she's now obsessed with Day because he's strong.
And I'm pretty sure she even does, like, her martial art is similar to
Yeah, she does kung
Wing
fu.
Chun.
Is that his style, Wing Chun?
I can't remember. I want to say yes, but I honestly just I can't remember, which is why I'm gonna look it up right now. Vamp.
Vamp.
All right, good job. You're doing it. You're vamping.
I'm vamping right now.
Yes.
All right. Well, I oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
Wing Chun.
the
But he also did another one, which was Jeet Kune Do. Yo, that's badass. Jeet Kune Do is called the Way of the Intercepting Fist.
that's pretty cool.
That's super cool, dude.
Bruce Lee was pretty cool.
Bruce Lee is wicked cool. Well, was wicked cool. Man, martial arts is cool as hell, man.
We need martial arts to make a comeback.
Here's what I want. I
Gun
want
fu.
some I want some cool. I mean, if I could do kung fu, that'd be
No,
sick
gun
as
fu,
hell.
because this is America, so we got to make it like fit in culturally. So gun fu.
I would learn some gun
Actually, you
fu.
know what
Some
gun fu is? Have you ever seen the movie Wanted,
yeah.
where they curve bullets? That's basically gun fu. They have like
That's
close quarters combat, hand to hand fights with guns in their hands.
yeah. But they don't curve bullets. They don't do any weird bullshit like that. It's just like hand to hand, but my hands happen to be holding guns.
Yeah, gun fu. You know who could probably do gun fu? John Wick.
John Wick could do gun fu. You know what I've always wanted to see with gun fu? I've always wanted to see someone like come around a corner and there's a bad guy standing there and he stuns him by throwing his gun at him, but it like bounces off the bad guy's head and he catches it and shoots him. That'd be cool as shit.
That would be pretty cool. We gotta direct an action movie.
I have a lot of like I think interesting ideas for action sequences, like getting your ass kicked by a wrestler, but it's from a first person perspective. So like dudes are putting you in joint locks and doing pile drivers and all kinds of cool stuff, but it's from a first person perspective.
I already experienced that growing up in my neighborhood, where every kid was like rough and mean.
Yeah.
So I've already seen that movie. It sucks.
I've lived that movie. I've also lived that movie being the smallest person of all time as a child.
Just like, hey, come here, let me put you in a headlock. No, I don't. Oh, no, no.
But just imagine it. Just like imagine there's a sequence with a little bit of like a couple shots of first person hand to hand combat, and then boom, they got you in a German suplex and just bam, slam you into the ground.
I don't want to
Suddenly the
imagine.
sky's above that.
You're sending me back to like 6th grade.
I like creative first person martial arts shots. Cinematography
Did
is
you like
very
the
important.
movie Hardcore Henry? I feel like you
I
would have been down with that movie.
I was very down with Hardcore Henry. Because I also like watching videos of people doing parkour with GoPros on.
That is pretty cool.
Because luckily, I don't suffer motion sickness under basically any circumstances.
I don't unless I'm drunk.
I don't even when I'm drunk. I suffer non-motion sickness.
No, you gotta get real drunk. You
Yeah,
gotta get my bed is spinning drunk.
yeah. And if I get that hammered, I'm fine when I'm moving. It's as soon as I stop. that everything's bad. So
Well,
when
yeah.
I get super crazy, I need to do parkour to maintain my own sanity.
Yeah, I feel that. It's like you get too drunk and you stop moving, that's when you get sick. So you almost have to start, like, you have to stay awake and start doing things, because if you just go lay down or go to sleep, that's when you'll wake up sick.
It also helps
It's like I gotta
uh
work off this hangover.
it also helps you to sober up when you do parkour. You know, you sweat that shit out.
That's true.
Guys, get super drunk and do parkour. Except don't do that, because that's a terrible idea.
We cannot be held liable for what happens.
Yes, I actively told you not to do that, and I'm dead serious about that. You will hurt yourselves.
Might be
Even
cool
if you're
though.
not intoxicated and you do parkour, there's a good chance you will hurt yourself.
That might be cool. Just it's the pros and cons. We told you not to do it, but it might be awesome if you did it.
But it looks cool. Like getting hurt real bad sucks, but parkour looks real cool.
Also, think of the internet points you'll score if you record it. Even if you get hurt, it's like, dude, look at this epic fail.
This is also true. And what else is also true is that we're like 20 minutes in and we're still on the first show, so we should probably move on.
Yep. Next up is, I believe, Monster Girl Doctor. Yes, it is.
This show's pretty cool.
Yep. And this week, so Glenn, this week, I'm not sure what was meant to be. He's massaging a tumor this week. Is that supposed to be hot?
I think it was everything after that. I think it
Yeah.
was like the tail and the wings, which to me almost like came off as satire a little bit.
Dude,
Because
her
like,
wings are kind of gross. They're not like regular dragon wings.
no,
They're
they
like
look like,
fleshy pterodactyl ones.
yeah, they're not great to look at.
Her voice is cute, at least.
It's cute and it really feels like they recorded it with an ASMR setup.
So, um, last week Scotty collapsed, and Glenn goes to speak with Dr. Catholi about it, and she says that she's tried her best, but Scotty refuses treatment. So Kunai comes to Glenn and asks if he could examine her because she wants to be able to do something for her master.
Yeah, she doesn't want to watch Scotty just give up and die.
And their
That
solution, since
sucks.
they know Scotty wouldn't agree to it, but is to just have Glenn sneak in there at night. And then if she's like, well, you're already here, so I guess I'll just let you examine me.
Which is some shit right there. And that whole sequence is a little bit of something. Because, like, it just cuts to them at night at her bedroom door being like, all right, we're here now.
But no one goes in besides Glenn for some reason.
Yes.
I don't know why no one else can stand there. It's a pretty big room.
It's a huge room, but instead everyone sits outside listening, waiting for Glenn to do something awful so that they can rush in.
Yeah, so Glenn goes in, and Scotty just kind of sees him there and is like, okay, since you're here, I'll respect your resolve and let you examine me.
I admire a man's resolve.
And she explains her situation to him. What she has is essentially a tumor on her chest that is almost acting like a second heart, reversing her blood flow.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a weird malignant tumor parasite that takes over her veins.
And the issue is it can't be removed easily because it's already sort of inserted itself into a lot of her veins.
Yes. Later, Cthulhu says I think she says 100.
Yeah. So he goes and examines it, and then examines the rest of her, and it's all like, ooh.
It, like, he goes to her tail, and she's like, my tail's extremely sensitive.
Even though
And
it
he's
looks
like,
plated.
yeah, even though it's A, covered in scales, and B, he actually says out loud, but weren't you just attacking people with this?
Yeah.
Which, that has some weird connotations if you put it in context.
Just
Like,
imagine using the most sensitive part of your body as a weapon.
imagine if,
Imagine, like, someone's trying to mug you and you just, like,
and you hit them with your
grip your
dick.
balls and you slap them with them.
Like, what? D- That gives new meaning to the phrase beating off attackers.
If you think of it, imagine if like you're trying to fight a guy and he just starts coming at you, swinging his dick.
He wins.
Yeah, he wins. You're
There
gonna
is.
back off.
Where's that dude in God of High School? Everyone's just like, no, stop.
I
I
yield. I give up. I'm
surrender.
not doing this.
I'm not. I'll get him next time. Turns out that
This is
guy
the
was the
flesh
key the
greatsword
whole
style.
time. Flesh greatsword. That's what I'm gonna start calling it. Do you want to meet
Excuse
the
me, ma'am.
key?
Would you like to
this is
involve yourself with the flesh greatsword?
this is my key that can defeat God. I I use my flesh greatsword style.
There's probably some anime about that, or some hentai.
I would almost guarantee it. And it doesn't make me any less uncomfortable, even though I can't verify that.
'Cause I know there's a lot of series about a lot of dumb shit. Like,
Dumb
there's a
shit is
series where
fun.
a dude gets his powers from breast milk. He fights, but he needs breast milk for his powers.
Oh, okay. I actually, I watched a scene earlier because I was watching the Amazon Prime hit TV show The Boys, and there is a scene where Superman drinks the breast milk of a dead woman.
It's pretty gross.
It was very uncomfortable, but it fulfilled its purpose in being uncomfortable.
Because that just makes me like it's probably spoiled milk.
It was in a bottle and it was in a fridge.
Oh, I thought he just drank it from the source. I was gonna be like, that's even worse.
That's what I wanted. That
Ugh.
was the reaction I wanted because that would be a much funnier bit instead of he just found it in a fridge and he drank it.
Oh.
Although he knew what it was, I will say, he knew what he was getting into.
Ugh. But
And uh,
but yeah, they they
he makes her
decide.
cry.
Yeah, he makes her cry, so everyone runs in after and thinks, oh no, he's doing something lewd to the
Now
Draconis.
now it's time to kill him.
But of course she says, no, nothing's going on. Anyway, I think the exam's over. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Which you do you, dude.
And they go talk to their teacher the next day, and he says that he wants to get her help with the surgery. Because not only does he want to help Lady Scotty, he wants to help her. Because he knows she wants to save Scotty.
Yeah, it sucks being a doctor whose patient is like, fuck you, dude. I don't want to get better. I want to be
And
sick.
yeah. And then she realizes how much they've matured and grown and goes and gives them both big tentacle hugs.
I don't like it. I
And
don't like it.
especially Safi, where apparently she hugs her so much that she's got a bunch of slime or something over on her after.
Is a tentacle hentai scene. We did it, guys.
We
We
did
got
that.
there.
We did it
But
to the
between
snake,
us,
which is
yeah,
weird because it's like, hey, you're normally the one that does the constricting.
I know. Oh, how the turntables.
Oh, how the turntables. And they need someone else to help with the surgery, someone that's good with a needle and thread.
Too bad they've never met any character at any point that would be good at that.
Wait a second, the spider.
It's
And so, yeah, they ask the spider for help.
it's gotta, of course, the surgery scene that I'm interested in because I like surgery scenes in TV shows has to be with the two girls that I'm super not down with. God damn it.
You're not down with the octopus lady either.
Hell no, dude. Octopi are terrible.
But
They are
think of all the
cold.
things you can do with all those tentacles. Come on, it's the very basis of hentai itself.
I I don't do octopi, squid, anything with tentacles. I'm not down with anything that has over 4 limbs.
But you're fine with
Just
under.
under is okay. Just no more, man.
Not even what's the chick with the multiple arms in Mortal Kombat?
Oh, the female Goro.
Yeah, you're not down with that.
No, dude. She tears people's skin off with those arms, man. She's also like 9 feet tall.
That would just work perfect for the Glen harem though, since he's the small one.
This is true. Glenn is a small boy, but he is also a good and wholesome boy. And
Oh,
I
and
think,
next week is the Cyclops.
yeah, we get a Cyclops who it's like the title was like self-deprecating Cyclops or something.
I was
And I
actually
was
about to
like,
think for a moment. I'm like, yeah,
same.
Cyclops. When is Cyclops ever the main girl? And then I'm like, fuck, Futurama.
Yeah. She's even got purple hair, just like Leela.
So like
Holy
they knew.
shit. Holy shit. I've solved the mystery, guys. This show was just an elaborate attempt to tie Futurama into an ecchi series. Check.
Anos Voldigold.
He's pretty cool. He does a lot of cool things.
He does cool stuff this week. And everyone else fucking flops. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. I'm just moving on to that because
Yes,
this is turning into a long episode.
it is. We have exhausted all things about that. Let's talk about Anos Voldigode and how much better he is than everyone.
What I like this week is they set up sort of like a side relationship with Lei and the half spirit girl.
Which is kind of amusing because that means Anos's right-hand man is going to get with the head of his fan club.
Yeah, but I also like how he's aware. He's just like, yeah, he can have that one.
He
Which
can
is nice
have
because you
that
think
one.
about some series where the best friend character doesn't get anything. There's like no crack in the harem. It's like everyone's in the harem. You just get to stand next to me and be like, that's pretty cool. It's like, yes, I will grant you one.
It's
You
a
may
shame.
have one from my fan club.
It is a shame. But you know what? Anos only needs Misha and also Sasha.
Oh, and it turns out humans are fucking shit. Fuck
Humans are
humans.
dicks.
Dude, humans are the worst.
This week is the I almost called it the tournament, the inter academy exam shit. That's what we're doing. And there's one dude among the royalists who is super not down with Anos being the
Even
demon
though
king.
he sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the humans are basically just out to embarrass the demons by
For
making them
no
look stupid
for
because
no
they're
fucking reason.
yeah,
Like
and their
they don't
teacher
gain
looks
anything.
like he hasn't slept in maybe 30 years.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, why is that dude so goddamn tired? Was he prepping so hard to cheat that he just didn't sleep for 2
Yeah,
years?
and he's specifically the teacher for the hero class. And
And
so
he's
the
a
heroes are
dick.
out making the demons look stupid, and then Anos keeps exposing all of their cheats, being like, nah, man, you gotta just do this.
Hey, I caught you casting that stupid bullshit cheat, and I'm gonna undo that. And I'm also gonna call you out in front of everyone.
But
So
they keep forcing Anos not to participate in everything because they're like, we're the royalists. We need to prove ourselves being the best. And it's like, dude, just you've seen what this man can do. This man can kill someone and bring them back instantaneously. And why are you like, nah, we're gonna do it?
when it comes to like the underwater arena fight, I was like, yo, you guys are just straight up gonna get murked super hard. You know that, right?
Mm.
You can't even just be like, all right, Anos, you take the lead. I'll back you up and join your team. Can't
Or,
can't even
or not even
just
just you can join our team, but we're gonna
yeah.
take the lead.
And
Nope.
then so that you
Instead,
can
what he
solve our
does is,
problem.
yeah, they have a fight in a lake where they fight underwater. The demons build a castle and the humans attack the castle. But turns out Anos notices very quickly, oh, they just filled the lake with holy water.
Yeah, who'da fucking thunk it? And turns out that means that A, the demon magic doesn't work, and B, the humans have unlimited magic.
Yeah, so they just obviously fuck them up. And Anos is like, hey, I'm just gonna wreck these guys. And he gets the leader of the Royalists, because apparently the leader of the Royalist and the teacher are very close. And the new teacher's great, way better than old teacher.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, he ends up getting a wound from the holy water that can't be healed easily because it's done by holy water. And Anos is like, I can heal that. And of course, he doesn't want Anos to heal him because his pride. I can't have a misfit heal me. He's like,
This
listen,
this dude is basically Bakugo from the My Hero series, where he's like, I fucking hate you because you pretend to be the person that I idolize so much. Except in this case, that is literally the person he idolizes so much.
yeah. And he basically says to him, listen, your teacher doesn't want to see you die. Just suck it up and do it for your teacher, who you admire so much.
Quit being such a salty little bitch and
And
let
he's
me
like,
fix you.
yeah, I'm just gonna go and win. And then they're all the other all the heroes are like, oh, do you want to fight us? Do you want to fight us? Well, I guess if we have to fight in the lake, but it's full of holy water. You want to drain the lake? We'll wait for you. And he's like, yeah, I'll just do that. You don't have to wait.
This'll take a minute.
He
And
almost pulls a fucking sun out of the sky and just drops it in the lake and drains the entire thing.
yes, because fuck you. Anos is the best.
And their
Like,
teacher's like, his jaw drops and he goes on, we have to cancel this tournament. This is absolutely ridiculous. But his students don't care and they just jump in. He's like, don't you go rogue on me.
and then the other teacher's like, ha, fuck you, asshole. We're keeping this shit up.
Yeah. You're not the only one that gets to cheat.
We don't care about your feelings. We've got the most busted man who's ever existed.
Yeah, and what are these dudes gonna do? They're gonna be like, we're the heroes. We're gonna kick your ass. He beat one of those dudes with a blink.
Yes. And he's about to shred the living hell out of these other dudes. Super
Honestly,
hard.
I'm pretty sure he could have beaten them in the holy water.
He
He
probably
should have
could
just
have.
done that. That would have been even worse.
Just style. He should have styled on them in the holy water and then afterwards evaporated the whole lake just to pour a little bit more salt on that wound.
That would have been great.
But instead, he just evaporates the lake and he's going to shred the lives of these men. Oh, but they have a secret weapon. It's the girl from last week that showed Anos
Yeah,
around the school.
and they have her in one of the underwater or underground caves down there. It looks like ruins.
They keep her in a big dark room that's all spooky.
And I'm guessing they treat her shitty. Anos is gonna fix whatever the problem is, and then she's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a transfer student now to the demon school because I am joining the harem."
And you know what? I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
The
put one of the
series,
non-shitty humans in the harem.
like, you know that a series like this with an OP protagonist is written well when every time, like, I know he's going to do something outrageously busted and just fix everything, but when he does, I'm excited to see him do it.
Yeah,
It's not
because
just like,
usually it's like I don't care. I know it's
yeah,
fine. I don't care.
whatever. He's just going to fix the problems. Who cares? But instead, it's like this man pulled the sun out of nowhere and evaporated a giant lake, and I am so for it. I am so excited for this. It's
I'm down.
great. I am down to clown.
No, I'm excited to just watch him wipe the smug off these guys.
Oh, that'll be so nice. I'm so excited. Ah, but you know
Yeah,
what I'm not excited for?
rent a girlfriend. Anything involving Kazuya. I felt bad for Ruka this episode.
Me too, man.
It's
Like,
like, bruh, she's your girlfriend. I know it's like a trial thing, but you agreed to it, and you treat her so terribly.
I know. It, this episode, like, I hate Kazuya in general, but watching this episode triggered me super hard because I was just like, man, this being is an insect.
They even
Kazuya,
have such a good opportunity to end it and switch over.
they
He could,
do.
and I also like the part where he calls her a pathological liar, and I'm like, that's you, dude.
Yeah, like,
He tells his grandma because they're the first part of the episode. She brings him to a love hotel,
because
and
she's like,
at first she just wants to
Chizuru,
talk to him, but she brings him into a love hotel specifically. He's like, "Well, why'd you take off your socks?" And she's like, "To get comfortable." But all they do is talk about his relationship with Chizuru. But then she tries to basically say, "Hey, I'm your actual girlfriend now. You should think of me. We should totally do it." And then he panics and wants to run away,
you
which
can't
is
do it with Chizuru, but you can do it with me.
the most strange thing ever.
It's
It's the typical Japanese like beta protagonist thing, but it's like, bro, I don't know any actual guy that would have been like, "Hey, I don't know. I don't really feel like having sex with you, my girlfriend."
yeah. Then again, I don't know very many people who would agree to a trial period as this chick's boyfriend and then just A, avoid her, and B, treat her like garbage.
Yeah, but yeah, so he decides he does not want to do that, so he's like, bathroom, and then he runs into the bathroom, and he gets a text from the grandma that they're supposed to be hanging out on New Year's.
Because they're going to do the shrine thing.
And of course she shows up, and they are all, Kazuya and Chizuru are shocked, but I'm like, at least she's got some balls. She's got some balls. She's going for it.
She's dedicated. She, like, I give her this. She is tenacious. She is tenacious for that D.
I like Chizuru, but Chizuru's kind of an enabler.
She is. I used to. She's been losing points with me because she started off real high on my list, but she's just been losing all kinds of points by enabling Kazuya to be
Because even she's like,
slime.
yeah, she's like, me and Kazuya can't break it off yet. It's complicated. It's like and Ruka's like, you're the only ones making it complicated.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be. Just break it off. This is the perfect
And
time to be
and
like,
I
hey,
don't even.
grandma, I'm sorry, I lied. Chizuru was just a rental girlfriend, but she's a really cool person and a good friend, and this is my actual girlfriend, Ruka.
Yes. Yes. I
But no,
didn't want you to
instead
be
he says to
disappointed.
his grandma, that's just Ruka. She's a pathological liar. Yeah, she just says things sometimes. I don't even get it. Like, she's not my girlfriend.
Oh, whoa, could you imagine? Lol. Like, bro, because think about it. Think about that hole you dig yourself in. Eventually, I mean, it's not going to happen, but eventually the theory is that he tells them that him and Chizuru break up. And if he's still together with Ruka, that's going to be real weird to explain. Like, oh yeah, then I dated this girl who's a pathological liar. So
What he
that's
easily could have
cool.
done, not have Chizuru come to the fucking thing, said, "Oh, we broke up. It's very sad. Everyone's just very sad the whole time." But then, like, give it 2 or 3 weeks and then say, "Hey, I'm with someone new."
Yeah, it's the easiest thing of all time. It's so easy,
But they can't because it's complicated.
but it's not complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we're on episode 9 or 10 now, and we still haven't met the fourth
The
girl.
last girl, she's in the OP
Oh, and
and the
Mommy has
ED.
disappeared from the show.
Yes, also in the OP and ED. What's she doing? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's weird.
Ah,
But yeah, I'm just, I don't know. This episode,
the
last episode was with him being the stalker was kind of annoying. This one was just like, dude, come on. There's this entire show. There's been ways out constantly. Like, here's the door. You guys can stop.
and they just don't because
They
they need
keep ignoring it.
they need to have the show / manga keep going. I think the thing that bothers me the most is seeing people's responses to stuff on Twitter, because it seems like people out there in the wide world are super divided on it, because a lot of people will justify Kazuya's actions no matter what, and a lot of people are just right and see that he is a garbage slime amoeba and needs to be destroyed.
I feel like most people who really like the show like it because of Chizuru, but I don't feel most people defend Kazuya. It's kind of weird to defend Kazuya just because he sucks, man. I feel like you would only
I
defend Kazuya if you see yourself as Kazuya.
Exactly. I saw a lot of people on Twitter last week defending the stalking. And I was just like,
He's just like
guys,
me.
guys, you need to change. You need to be better. You could be better.
We believe you can be better.
Exactly. When you've got a Ruka, you don't have to chase the Chizuru, you know? You don't have to. There's no point.
Yeah. She's cute. She's nice. She's a little overbearing, but you can work around that.
You got to establish boundaries.
That's all you
Cuz
got to do.
I bet if you were like, listen, this ain't gonna continue if you're gonna text me literally every 2 seconds, I bet she'd be like, all right, I want to preserve this, so
Thinking
I
about
will
it though,
give
she
you your
probably texts him a
space.
lot because he doesn't ignore he doesn't respond to her. He's like, busy. Sorry, can't hang out. Bye.
That's also a very good point. Spend time with your girlfriend.
unless it's unless your choice is between spending time with your girlfriend or watching the Protagonist Seat podcast, then I think we know which is more important.
Well, listen, we're gonna play some 4D chess with this conundrum. Why not do both? Why not introduce your girlfriend to the stellar bits and hilarious observations of the Protagonist Seat podcast? Huh?
Yeah. You know what? That's a
Spread,
good idea. Double the viewership.
Evangelize to your
The
friends
show
and
for
family.
couples, the Protagonist Seat podcast.
Hey,
This Valentine's Day, instead of Netflix and chill, Protagonist Seat and chill.
Protagonist Seat and procreate.
That would be the weirdest thought of just like people are getting it onto our podcast.
There's stuff out there that I know, like I've seen creators out there read comments of people who are like, we like to get down to your content. And it's weird every time.
I feel like
That's a
it's weird
weird thing
unless
to
you're
say to
doing
someone.
ASMR.
I don't know.
If you're
I
doing
feel like if
ASMR, I think you know.
yeah, but I feel like you don't want to say it.
That's
You
true.
want
It's
to
like the
keep that
unwritten
under
rule.
wraps. Keep that stuff under the table. Let's move on from this dumpster fire of human waste. What else we got?
Fire Force.
Hey, it's all right.
All he needed was 1 second, and that's all
Yeah.
we needed. All right, see you next week.
Yep.
No, so he gets the blessing from the woman in black, and it feels a lot longer than a second, but Shinra's whole thing is slowing down time.
Right. He basically does what he did against Shin.
Yeah, he moves super fast, so technically he's within the scope of a second.
And
We
yeah.
see the history of, I think his name's Tempeh, the demon.
Yes.
We see apparently there's some sort of barrier, like there's a rift at the end of the peninsula where he reached that, and that's where the evangelist came from.
And the evangelist turned him into the demon.
Yep, and so after he turned into the demon, he basically became insane. He was already kind of crazy, but then after he's like, "Yes, I will now go spread the word of God."
Because as we've learned, if you learn anything from this podcast, it's that organized religion is always the bad guy.
and we learned that the first pillar is likely, like, that girl is likely inside of Amaterasu, or she is Amaterasu.
Yes.
Just like how the woman in black is powering the tabernacle in the forest.
Because this shit is Dark Souls now.
You have to literally become the fire, link the fire.
Link the fire of Amaterasu. And that's kind of, I think it's a pretty good theory on Shinra's part, but that's why we guess
Yeah,
that girl hates everyone so much.
because
Which
she got forced into the thing.
I can't blame her for that. I'd be pretty pissed too.
Yeah, if I had to like burn forever so humanity can prosper.
Hey, burn forever so I can cook bagels and watch TV.
Burn forever so I can make some bagels.
Burn burn forever in my toaster.
But yeah, so they say goodbye to the animals and everything's good in the forest. The woman in black has to go back to sleep. And then they head back to the Tokyo Empire. But we get a lot of insight between Dr. Licht and Shinra where they're kind of talking saying there's probably a lot now that you explain that the church isn't telling us.
The church is hiding stuff.
And that's basically the all that happens this episode really, but
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. I really like Dr. Licht, and apparently the next episode is entirely focused on him.
Yeah.
The preview calls it the episode like the Dark Hero or something, where apparently
Yeah.
his whole thing is he's like the Dark Hero from the shadows trying to fix things.
I
And I
think
kind of like that.
I think I got a theory about Dr. Licht and Joker. Cuz I think their whole deal is they are against the church, which kind of puts them in this weird neutral space because they know the church is hiding all kinds of
Oh yeah,
shit.
because they definitely are not fully with the Fire Force despite having Dr. Licht working with them.
Yeah.
I really like him, and I hope that because he's getting a lot of focus, that doesn't mean he's gonna die soon.
Oh, I'd be so bummed. Dr.
Because
Licht
he's a
is so
really
cool.
interesting character. Especially like the relationship he's formed with the characters. At first when you join him, like, oh, he's just gonna be the creepy doctor guy. Why would they trust this guy? But he's done a lot this season.
He yeah, he definitely has his own agenda, but he still has formed relationships with other characters, and I feel like that informs his choices.
Yeah,
And I
because
like
him and
that.
Shinra are the only ones currently talking about the fact that Hajima and the church might be up to something.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more into the life of Dr. Licht.
That's what this upcoming episode I'm excited for because that's a him centric episode where I feel like we're finally going to learn a lot about him specifically.
And then later we'll probably get Captain Obi back.
Well, they pretty much are back. They're back in the Tokyo Empire now.
Yeah, but the next episode is going to be all Dr. Licht, so I don't know
Oh.
how much Obi is going to show up.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking forward
definitely in
to
the one after.
and we're probably going to learn the relationship between Joker and the captain of the first because again, they both have the eye patch thing and the theme song this season seems to show that there's some sort of connection there.
Yes. I wonder if they had to give up their eyes to Adola or whatever
Yeah, it's
to
probably
gain
an
their
Odin sort.
powers.
It's probably an Odin thing.
Yeah. There are wheels at work behind these scenes, and I like it. Anything with intrigue and layers and investigation, that's my jam right there.
Mm. No, yeah, Fire Force is. I feel bad because the first season was just kind of whatever, and a lot of people wrote it off as just being like a run of the mill, just okay shonen. Just it looks nice, that's about it. But all like the substance was kind of backloaded.
Yeah,
Because I feel like if you made it to this point, you're really into it.
I think I can't say for certain, but I suspect that keeping everything kind of boilerplate in the beginning is a way to increase their reach to more people and then try and pull those people in with like a gradual increase and all right, here's what we're actually about.
You see, I feel boilerplate at the beginning is kind of bad, just because of how many people you're competing with, like how many other series there are. I feel like you
Yeah.
need to do your thing to stand out right away.
I I don't think it's the right way to go, but I think it might have been their reasoning. I suspect. I can't say for certain. Maybe they didn't know exactly where they were going to go at the beginning, and that's why everything kind of starts off a little bit more boilerplate.
Because
And
this
then
is this is the person who made Soul Eater, so they have this is not their first rodeo.
that's true. I don't know. I don't know. I f- I want there to be a good explanation for it, but maybe there just isn't one.
But anyway, you should watch it because it gets better later. Even if you didn't like the beginning, it gets good at the end of the first season when they go into the tunnels.
Yeah, and
I feel
it
like that's where it
stays
really
pretty
picks up.
cool. And it's cool. It gets into that cool area.
And then no Shobotai.
And no Shobatai. And I think that's it.
That is it. That
That's
is it.
cool. This is it.
What is it?
Well, it is the end of our podcast,
Oh
The
no, it's
Protagonist
the end
Seat.
of the episode.
This is where we do all the stuff, like tell you to like and or rate and or
Like,
subscribe.
comment, and subscribe.
Exactly. Tell us what you think about all the stuff. Interact with us. We want to know your opinions. Get updates by subscribing and having the notification bells clicked on YouTube, or just subscribing on the other podcast forums. There is all of them.
Yeah,
We are just on all of them.
we are on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Spotify. It's hard to miss us.
It is. We are widely available.
And we got some interesting stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Follow us on that social media because you'll find out about it there.
Indeed, we have an upcoming project that we'll be working on this week.
And you should
So
subscribe to our YouTube channel because, little hint, everything goes up there first.
it does. So if you want the first looks, the first listens, hit us up on YouTube.
I think
You
that's
can
it.
also find us on social media, Facebook and Twitter. That is
Yep, at
another
Protagonist Seat.
place to receive updates from us. And
Yeah,
that's it.
so yeah, stay tuned because we got stuff coming. We got stuff in the pipeline.
Oh, Popskyy made our OP, and he also just put out a new album. Everything is Cake, and it's pretty good. I would recommend it if you like
Everything is
chiptune
cake?
electronica. Yep,
Everything?
that is actually the name of the album.
Everything. Everything.
I'm uh
Everything? All right, I think we're
uh
good.
it's all cake. It's all cake. Okay, that's it. Bye.